Welcome to Dance Specific Talks. This podcast is made for us dancers, and our goal here is to inspire dancers from all over the world to become better, both on and off the dance floor. We want to provide you with a platform where we dancers can share and learn from each other. So let me introduce to you your host for this podcast, Teaser, and remember as always, by dancers, for dancers.
Welcome to another episode of your favorite dance podcast, Dance Specific Talks, released from Be Fit Essential, and I'm your host, Teaser. Today we're traveling all the way to the Netherlands as I am going to talk with one of my friends and co-workers, the Kizomba star, MIRTY.
All of my girls, them bad, we go kill somebody. Say the ginger go kill somebody. If you want to touch my body, you got to spend the money. Bottles must to pop. And go spray the money.
So what do you need to know about MIRTY? Well, probably you have heard her name in the Kizomba scene. She is the partner of Chamalo, who's running the dance school Castle of Dance here in the Netherlands. She has a salsa background, but quickly fell in love with Kizomba once it started hitting the European scene. We are gonna hear all about how her journey has been as an artist, but also as a person throughout these years as an artist. But first, you already know what to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dance Specific Talks. We have a Facebook and also podcast platforms on iTunes, Spotify, and all the other podcast platforms. You can find us on Dance Specific Talks. And don't forget to share your favorite episode because we read all of it. And now, let's get it going. Welcome to this interview, MIRTY! Oh, I'm so happy to have you in my living room.
Finally.
I'm so happy. All right. Well, this has been a crazy year. We are just starting the season back at Castle.
Yes.
How has your year been?
Actually, Corona came at a good timing for me because I was recovering from a concussion and I couldn't take the break that I needed. I took some time away what I would normally do during the festivals, staying more in my room, only doing the lessons, and also the lessons at Castle of Dance. I took a little break, but it wasn't enough. So when Corona came, it gave me the break that I needed. So actually this year, I think I recovered like fully from a concussion. So now that everything is coming back alive,
Do you hear that, people?
we're ready.
You need to take your break. You need to take your break.
Yeah,
That's
really
it.
important.
That must have been so hard. Like, when did you get that head concussion? When was it?
I think it was 2.5 years ago. We were training for the show,
The ninja.
the ninja show. Yeah. And then we had a trick where I turned up on his shoulders and turned back down again, and I landed in the wrong way, and he just missed my leg, and I fell to the back. So in the beginning, it was fine. Actually, I didn't have. I had some pain and a headache, but nothing crazy. And 2 days later, we were flying to Australia, and I'm like, I don't want to miss this.
No.
So we just went. We did the show. I think we did 2 festivals that weekend. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, we went to. I think we went to LA after that. I don't remember. I remember we had a lot of flights. Of course, Australia is long, and I was like, oh, I feel good actually. Nothing bad is happening. And we came back Tuesday in Holland. And I was like, what's happening? I'm tired. I feel slow. I couldn't even focus my eyes on something. And then I went to the doctor, and he was first afraid that it was a bleeding, because with a bleeding you get the symptoms later on. And after they did a scan, nothing bad like that, but just a concussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I was very close with a dancer who had a head concussion after doing a flip and landing on his face. And yeah, it took a really long time
That's
to
crazy.
recover, because you think that it's all right, and then you start, physically going again.
Yeah.
And that's, luckily it wasn't as bad with you as it was with him, but he developed tinnitus, light sensitivity, very, very hardcore. So Hey, it's not a joke, man.
No,
And I
no.
don't understand how people do that athletically, like ice hockey players
Keep
and
on
stuff.
going. Again, concussion, because it builds up. The second time
Yeah.
or the third time that you get it, there's a really big risk
Yeah.
that something like that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, I noticed light. I'm more sensitive to it. So normally in the morning I could open my window and be a happy girl.
Mm.
And now I keep my how you call
Yeah,
it?
the blinds.
The blinds shut. And they need to
Oh.
stay shut until I'm really awake.
Mm.
Otherwise I would not really get tired, but I would feel like I have less energy that day when I start my day like that. So
Wow. So
that's the only thing.
you
that
still
I-
have some adjustments that you
Yeah.
keep, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that those will just stay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like of course I know that you've been traveling a lot. You and Shama was like one of the 10 top most booked couples in the
Yeah.
Kizomba scene for a minute there, and it would have stayed so if the COVID would have happened. But just to like bring it back, I actually don't know a lot about what you did before. I know that your mom used to own like a salsa school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
how did you like start to dance? Was it your mother that put you into dancing?
Yeah, it was really my mother, but she didn't put me. It was just that at home she was playing a lot of salsa music, jazz music, and for me it was a trigger. Like, oh, actually I like it. So at the age of 9, I started joining her to the dance school, and just I'm a little kid, so I'm going crazy to the lessons, not really doing the right stuff. And I think from 11 I was more serious. I even helped her during the lessons, assisting, and yeah. It's for me, it was normal. It was something that I saw from a young age, my mom doing, and yeah, it's just I grew up with it.
And your mom is from Curacao,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So, like, was this something that she had from her family, from her
No,
parents?
no, she was the first in the family who really started dancing, because actually the family from Curacao, they are really like, how can I say this? There are people who think really big of themselves, so they were always like judging other people and not doing really a lot. They were nice people, but they had kind of an attitude. Like even when my mom came to Holland and found a guy here, let's say in the family, all her sisters and brothers who found someone that they loved or that they want to be with, it was never good enough. And she was the one who didn't listen. So just she stayed in Holland. She found her man and she was happy. And I think in a way she was more rebellious and was like, I love dancing, I'm gonna do it. And then she just started her dance school. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like did you like fantasize about yourself becoming like a salsa star when you were younger?
No,
No?
not at all. I played hockey, field hockey from when I was 4. So actually that was my passion, what I really enjoyed. And besides that, I loved singing, but quietly by myself in my room, because I was a really shy girl when I was younger. So I did that a lot. And actually I was dreaming about becoming a singer. And at the age where I needed to decide which study I wanted to do, I wanted to do theater school. And with that came dancing, which I also enjoyed, in acting, but it was more about singing. And from that point, it was my mom who made a point, like, understand that if you go this direction, it's going to be a difficult one, because there's not always going to be something to make money. It's always a constant struggle. And at that age I was like, okay, I'm just going to be smart and do a normal study. I did media management, and in the end I don't regret it. But I think if I would do something like that, I would become bigger, because my background is more strong, but yeah, I didn't choose that direction. And actually, when I came into the Kizomba scene, I was more interested in really building my dance and growing strong into this. Before it was just a hobby and I enjoyed it, but not in the vision of I want to be the greatest one. I want to teach and I want to know. I didn't have this before.
So why Kizomba and not like salsa bachata?
It started from salsa,
Yeah.
because I was teaching in Rotterdam at a salsa school, and from that time the Kizomba really got mixed in with the Latin scene. So whenever there's a party of salsa bachata, they had a Kizomba room. And I started noticing the music, like, oh, I like it, but the people were dancing so close together, and that was not my thing. So I was always looking like, oh, it's a nice music, but I would not go into the room, like being afraid. And I was a friend that I met in Curacao, actually, and he was really into Kizomba, and he he danced it sometimes with me, taking me to parties, and I was like, oh, actually, it's not that bad. When you are dancing it, it doesn't feel that close. But when you see it without knowing, you're like, oh, it's really intimate. But it wasn't. So I really started enjoying this, and from there, I just fell in love with Kizomba. Now I barely dance salsa bachata. It's Kizomba, Kizomba, Kizomba.
You realize how much stamina salsa requires after you become...
That's crazy. Now when I do a salsa song with someone, after one song, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a drink.
Yes.
Leave me be.
It's not that you don't get sweaty with Kizomba. You get so sweaty. Like, and you also have the other person's sweat so close to you. It's just like a mix of sweats, right? But there's something with salsa that I didn't think about it before, that you have to step and spin and step. It's cardio. And Kizomba don't require as much cardio. And I think
Samba does, but you don't do a long run of Samba.
And I also think that that's why we have the Kizombis that stays on the, like salsa bachata dancers, they are done at 3. They're good. They're good. I understand. Whereas Kizomba dancers like, oh my God, the party stops at 5. Like,
why is it going any longer?
Yeah, like because you came out at 1. Okay, so.
Yeah, that's 1.
But like, it's one thing to get to know a style, but then you actually started to teach it. And like, how did that transition go from you learning Kizomba to like you starting to teach?
Yeah, so I noticed already in, I think it was 6 months, that I was actually starting to be pretty good. The way that I can adapt to my partner and the way that I could follow was on another level. And when I started noticing that, I was like, okay, oh, that's nice. I enjoy it. And even the bigger teachers were always happy to dance with me. And at some point, some teachers asked me to help them during the lessons. And I was like, oh, actually, it's nice. I think it was after 1 year dancing Kizomba when that happened. And it happened more and more. And I was like, oh, actually, I like it. But for me, it was not an investment of, now I need to find a partner and start teaching. But it was nice that I got invited just for free, but just to help the lessons, and also get a different insight. Because when you are teaching, you go way deeper than when you are just following lessons from other people. And it was actually when I met Chamalo that I was really considering like having a partner and teaching only with him and really going into this lifestyle. So when I met Chamalo and he was looking for a partner and we matched and we started, that was when I was like, okay, let's go, let's do this.
I remember when he put out this like ad about him looking for a partner, and like he would favor dancers that had different dancing backgrounds. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, we're living in Sweden and my entire crew had known Chamalo from his first international festival, but where we didn't know, like how we were going to communicate with him because there was no English. And, but I remember seeing that ad, and so funny that now remembering back, like that was when he met you. And
no, actually we met at a party.
Because
you met at a party. I saw the ad, but like I said, I wasn't invested in really teaching. So when I saw the ad, I'm like, it's funny, but it's not for me because I don't want to stick with one partner and dance. And also if I look the requirements, I'm a good dancer, but I don't have a big background of dancing. So that wasn't for me. I was like, no, let's just not do it. I was not that kind of person. And actually we met at a party and people recommended him to me. Like said, maybe you should just try to dance with Mirty. She's a good follower, just see how it goes. And the first interaction with him was really bad because nowadays I know how my face is and I keep it in a friendly way. But before, I'm a real Capricorn, and Capricorn people are always looking like they are not interested, like they're a bitch. And I had this face on me all the time. I'm not like that, but my face was like that when I wasn't interacting with people. So he was looking at me like, this lady. It's not gonna happen.
No good vibes. No.
And Chamalo is really focused on vibes. What energy do people give off? And my energy wasn't a-okay to say it like that. But we danced at that party and it went in a nice way and we talked a little bit. And after he had another lady that he was interested in teaching with, and we went to a festival. I think after we were again at one party And this was actually funny because now he could see that my face was not who I was, because there was someone, I think he dropped a package of gum, nothing crazy, but he walked away and I saw it and I was like, hey, wait, your gum. And I saw Chamalo looking at me like, oh, she's actually nice.
Yeah,
She's saying something like this, putting in effort. I see him thinking. And after there was a festival and he had 2 workshops. So he chose to do 1 workshop with me and 1 workshop with the other ladies to see how the lesson would flow. And the other lady didn't show up.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, I don't know what happened.
No.
But all I know until now is that she didn't show up.
Yeah.
And he did both lessons with me, and actually they were good. There were some mistakes into the dance that actually made a new step.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And from there we started a partnership.
That like is so different, because a lot of partnerships starts because you're together, like you are in a love relationship first, and then you're like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
But you guys basically just started as partners.
Yeah.
And like, how did that discussion go? Did you have like a contract and like,
yes, he was really serious into this, like, okay, now we're going to be partner, this and this are the things that you're going to get when you're dancing with me, because it was not only festivals, traveling, it was also his dance school where I started teaching with him. So there were a lot of rules into this. So he made a contract and I signed it, and it was like really professional,
Yeah.
And that was our relationship in the beginning. It was professional. It was really, we were dancing together, we were teaching together, in a professional way. And from there we started to build a friendship, actually. Of course, when you are in a partnership, you're gonna hit some blocks because you are 2 different people. And so we went to a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of happy times, even crying together sometimes. But that built like a really, really strong friendship.
That's what it means to be dance partners. Like, even though I'm in a relationship with my dance partner, it's like when we started dancing together, we were in a crew, and crewmates are like that. You cry, you laugh, you have fun, it's stressful. And I remember seeing you both at Castle of Dance, where like I would see you like in around Shama, like picking up some stuff and like, don't forget this and don't do that, like, and that's when I'm like, I'm seeing this relationship is shining through. This is like, and I also remember Chamalo saying like, what would I do without the women in my life? And like you being one of them, like keeping, because there's a lot of things that he needs to think about, running a school and doing all those things. And before this interview, I called Chama and I was like, you have to tell me, how was MIRTY before, or like when you started compared to now? And he was like, with the warmest tone, he was just like, I have seen MIRTY becoming the woman she is today. She was so shy, as you mentioned, but also like that you had to, learn a lot of new things, of course. But how would you describe the journey from like a personal, like your personality wise?
My personality, so like I said, I was shy, and it was from a young age because I was bullied when I was younger. So for me, I was always shy. I was always like, in a way, protecting myself, for people not to pick on something that wasn't right. In order to not let that happen, I was just closed. So whether or not you're gonna like it or not, I'm gonna keep it to me just in case you're not gonna like it. So that was my mindset from growing up. And teaching, you cannot be like that. You are in front of a big group. You need to accept yourself and share it with everybody else. Otherwise, you're not able to teach in the right way. So Kizomba helped me with this, but especially Chamalo, because he was really focusing on what you are doing is good, trust this, and really building me up in a way. And I was in a Kizomba mindset. Like I said, I noticed from 6 months already, from 6 months to a year, that actually the way I could follow, the way that I evolved my Kizomba was good. And I was thinking, I'm good, I'm there.
We all think
you don't know I was there, but I wasn't. But in my mind, I was there. So every time that he would say stuff like, maybe you could do this or you could do this, I was always like fighting, like, no, what I'm doing is good. I was really attacking mode, safety net. And we had big fights about this. And in the end, slowly I understand, like, there is still a lot to learn. My mindset was really changing into this. And now I'm the one that if people ask me, yeah, but you're a teacher. I say, I'm a teacher, but you're never done learning. My mindset switched like 100% of this. Like, you need to learn. Even if you are on the top, there's still more to learn and still more to grow. So this was a big change, combined with me accepting myself, being out there. Now, if I tell people I am shy, they will not believe me. They will just look at me like, no, you are lying. So yeah, this is a big change through Kizomba and with Chamalo.
Yeah. And you have like, is also, and one thing to like teach in your country where like this is your safe zone kind of thing, and then going abroad. How was it like in the beginning to go to festivals? Because it's really intense.
Yeah.
And like, did you realize how much bookings you signed up for, and like how that like physically, mentally, emotionally is, you know, putting pressure on you when you're an artist like that?
In the beginning, I really enjoyed traveling because my mother's from Curacao. We have a house there. So actually all the vacations that we took, it was to Curacao because it was what we loved. It was easy because we had a house, we had a car, everything was set up. So my vacations were almost always Curacao. So when we started traveling, I was really happy because now I'm seeing different places of the world. And I definitely didn't know that it would get this crazy because in the beginning, he already had some bookings and he made the effort to put me in, like even if the you know how some organizers are in Kizomba with girls, like, no, we just take you, the lady can you know, stay at home, it's more cheaper. So some of those bookings said that, and he even paid the flight himself to make sure that I was in there with him, you know, to put it as a statement like, no, I'm teaching with her together. So in the beginning there were like 3 bookings a month, and I was like, okay, it's pretty heavy. And at some point there were 4 5 bookings a month that we had, even 2 in a weekend, that we needed to travel from Monday to Saturday and Saturday to another one. So yeah, it was pretty intense. But I was always busy when I was younger. I was working even when I didn't have to. I really enjoyed it. Doing school, having driver's license in the same time. I was always busy playing hockey. So I was used to this life in a way. So for me, I still enjoyed it. It was hectic because it asks a lot of energy from you to be in front of a class and to give yourself to the people like that. But I was really enjoying it, definitely. And I think physically I'm always a girl that has like, I get sick easy when I was younger. Now after my concussion, I don't have this. I don't know why, but I don't have this a lot anymore. Like even if I would eat spicy food, 2 days after I could get really sick just because I eat spicy food. My body was sensitive. So I got this a lot during the traveling, but for me it was nothing new, nothing crazy. It was just normal. And after my concussion, I started noticing like, okay, actually it is tiring. Being at a festival, it really hit me like what we were doing years in a row, without really knowing what it did to my body, because it had an effect for sure. It's just I didn't notice it until my concussion, where I was like, whoa, we need to slow down with this. I cannot be at every party, at every social, and teaching and having conversations with all the students, smiling, you know, being on the whole time, because there's not really a moment where you can just switch off and be you when you are at a festival. So yeah, now even when Corona happened and now everything is coming back to life, we talked with Chamalo about this, and we were like, yeah, we're going back to this, but not in the same way. We need to have at least 1 weekend a month where we are like free
Off
at home, you know, chilling, relaxing. So I think this changed our mindset in a way, like understanding what we were doing was not good for our bodies. So actually this now is a good switch.
Every artist say the same, like especially people like you guys that have been traveling a lot. Like, I don't regret it, but I don't want to go back to that. Like the just of being like emotionally and physically able to be there with your family when you're home, and not just like dead for days until the next festival. So yeah, I really hope it can bring like a positive change. I mean, it's also this thing what you meet so many people. Like there's just so many people that you meet in one festival. Like how when you go into a dance floor, do you just mostly focus on I'm gonna perform and do my best on like every single dance, or do you actually also get time to like be inspired by the other dancers?
No, I definitely get inspired. Like we are there to work, but at the parties, you're going to still to enjoy. You know, you're still going a little bit with the mindset. Okay, I am an artist here, and people, you know, when people ask me to dance, I cannot say no. You can't. You cannot be at someone. No, I don't want to dance with you. Go away. That's not possible. So you still, of course, have some dances where you know you need to attend to, but yeah, you can even share with all the artists who are at the festival, and you know you also don't get to meet them a lot because you're always booked in different places. So I definitely get inspired dancing. Even leading at some point was really enjoyable for me until my feet died because he wasn't leading or no good friends. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed still. Yeah, even though that you are tired and you are there, but yeah.
Yeah, because like we are always taught like to put your own flavor and put your own style and be creative and stuff. So like, do you have right now anything that makes you more inspired, like any certain type of dance styles or dancers or music choices that just sparks that joy in you?
I don't I it's how I am. I never get inspired by specific people. It's the same that when I was singing, people ask me, "Who's your favorite singer?" I don't know. I like a lot of people, you know, because I don't want to focus on one thing, and I think that's the biggest point. Like, if you like something, that's good, but still look on the things that you would normally not like, because that's where you will get inspiration that you would never get because you don't like it, you know. So for me, actually going into, and we're doing this training a lot with Chamalo right now, going into music that you would normally never dance on, that you would normally be like, I don't want to hear this, dancing on those kind of songs actually, they bring out a different part of your brain, you know, they activate a different part where you're like, okay, wait, but now maybe I can do this. So for me, that's now my biggest inspiration, like going into stuff that normally I would say no to, and that I don't enjoy per se as much, but those kind of stuff get you on another level.
Where do you wish to take like your dancing forward? Because I mean, you have already achieved what a lot of dancers, to get these bookings and to be doing shows and to do teachings. Like, is this what you would like to continue to do for the next 10 years, or do you see yourself like doing something else with your dancing, or what kind of visions do you have?
So we still enjoy this, definitely, and I still want to continue what we are doing now, teaching at a dance school and traveling in festivals. But no, I want to be even bigger than this. Like, even in the beginning, it was Chamalo who said this before, like, yeah, we're gonna be on TV one time, you know, we're gonna make this in the world. And I was always like, yeah, you're right. But now actually we are on the edge of being on TV with this. We're gonna join a competition. And yeah, actually from this, I'm hoping to be bigger, you know? It's more, Kizomba is not that big yet in Holland. If I tell some people I dance Kizomba, they look at me, yeah, Zumba? You dance what?
Yeah.
So it's not like salsa. If I say salsa, everybody will understand this. So this competition hopefully will spread the word more. And, you know, being on TV is already a nice step. And maybe joining other competitions, or, you know, even be on TV with shows and stuff. Like, I think that will be a nice goal. The next goal that I want to.
Yeah, because have you been in competitions before? Because I know you've been judging. You were the judge of Olympiads in 2019, I believe.
Correctly.
Like, have you also competed?
No.
Because I was about to say, like, how was it to be a judge? Because I know how it is to compete and to be a judge, but like to be like asked to judge competitions, that must have been like, what am I supposed to do?
In a way, it's weird because I've never joined a competition of Kizomba, so I don't I don't know the pressure behind, what those people are going through, but my knowledge of Kizomba was big. Like I knew the techniques, I knew the understanding of the feeling, the dancing. And so for me, it was not, in those sense, not weird, because I could judge. I could tell some people, this and this is good, this can be better. But yeah, you miss a whole part, because normally the judges were the ones who were competitioning years before and who've been through this. So for me, that was kind of weird in a way. But having Chamalo next to me, who has a big backpack of things, with doing competition and stuff, he explained me a lot of stuff. And from this, for me, I felt okay. But in the beginning, I was like, why am I gonna be a judge? For what?
Yeah. I can imagine. But it's nice now. Now you get to like feel it yourself, and the nerves and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And like, you're also not only teaching Kizomba, you're also teaching lady styling.
Yeah.
Like, what, as a role model and as a female teacher teaching other females, what is like one thing that you want, these ladies to learn from you, or to, get from your classes?
Yeah. So in the beginning, when I started doing lady styling and lady technique, I wasn't that comfortable yet, because even for me, it was really difficult to find my own thing, to find what makes Mirty. For me, it was really difficult, because I was always a shy girl. And now getting a lot of knowledge from Chamalo, we even made a joke about this. Sometimes I even felt like a mini Chamalo, because what I was doing was what he was giving to me. And even during dances, I make, of course, he's leading, so I'm interpreting stuff that he's giving to me, but I wasn't really adding me into this. And for me, that was difficult. So in the beginning, when I started teaching those lady styling classes, I was like, yeah, but besides technique, what am I gonna give? It was a mind switch for me. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm always telling on my classes. Like, it's good to have a role model. It's good to have a focus on, I love the way that she dances, but don't say that you want to be like that, because it's important from the beginning to already have the mindset, I like what she's doing there, but I like what she's doing there, and I'm gonna take those things and make it mine. So for me, it's really important when I'm teaching and when I'm giving technique or body movement or stuff, that don't look too much at me, because the way that I'm doing it is because my body is doing this. Your body is never gonna be the same way. We're not the same. So this is the biggest mindset that I want to give to ladies and even leaders, find you. Even if people don't like it, don't care about it. It's you. If you like it, that's good.
Yeah. And like, how would you describe the Mirty style now, since you have been working on it? Like, who is Mirty?
So the biggest thing that people always say is like elegance.
Yeah.
I have always a fluid movement, and even for me, it's hard to sometimes put a hard accent because I'm not used to it. So that's a thing that I really want to work on and get. So, but that's me. And now when I'm really, after my concussion, now that I'm fully recovered, I'm working way more on playfulness and being more, cheeky during the dance.
Yeah.
So you didn't see demos of this yet, but we're going to get there. Yeah. So at that point, I would say elegance and also now cheeky.
Yeah, I definitely would describe you as this like very grounded, flowy, but very elegant, not just in your clothing style and appearance, but also like your movements. Yeah. I wouldn't per se call myself elegant, so like this is a big difference.
That's nice with you. You have those hard accents that I'm sometimes like, oh, I wish I could do that, and I'm like trying. I'm like, no, I'll leave it. It's not
me. And someone is like, you can do that, but tone it down.
We need a little bit from each other.
But I think that's nice. I mean, like when I look at you, because we're teaching at the same school and together sometimes as well, like I'm always like, the balanza is like the move that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna look this fluid, and no matter how hard I try, I feel like I want to be Mirty on my balanza moves. So it's fun though. I think we take a lot of inspiration from, the dancers we have close, and Sabu as well. Like,
also
fake it till you make it. No, it's cool. So you said TV. Do you have any other, like, it could be something else than dancing as well, but do you have any other things that you feel like you yet have to achieve in your
Yeah, it has nothing to do with dancing, but the thing that's my dream and my big goal into my life is that I want to start my own restaurant. So that's
Oh.
actually where I'm working towards now, because in September I'm gonna start a new study.
Wow.
And from this it's gonna be 4 years. So after 4 years, long 4 years, I'm hoping to get closer to that goal and be able to achieve it.
What kind of
Yeah.
food?
So actually, don't steal my idea, because I'm gonna tell you now, but don't steal it. I love tapas. I really love all the small dishes and getting a little bit of everything. But most of the time when you have those, it's Mexican, Spanish. It's always around that vibe. And for me, I'm like, that's a shame. I want to also get some risotto, and in different things. And so my idea is to have like a map of the world, and all the different continents have their own special, spices and stuff that they use. And from there, I'm gonna get like, you can choose this side of the world or this side of the world, and you get the tapas dishes from those sides, or get a whole mix.
Beautiful.
Because that's the way that I would love my food, how I would love to eat. So that's the best vision that I can have.
Oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
tapas is the best because you can just like order a bunch, and I love that you share food with
and
each
you get
other.
a little bit of everything. Yeah.
I love that. So like the education, is it more like to become a chef, or is it more like running a business?
It's actually hotel school.
Ah.
And when I say this, people will talk to me, oh, you want to work in a hotel? Like, no, it's not this. Actually, hotel school is like from A to Z hospitality. So I'm getting classes on how to be in the front desk. I'm getting classes of how to cook. But I'm also getting classes about management, about the books, how to do the numbers. So really from A to Z, you get everything at that school. So the mindset that I'm having, this is the best study that I could do to fit my needs.
I can already see the creative side of this restaurant where you can like have dance performances while you eat and stuff, and like the music. Okay, so we have to talk about this when it's time. Book another interview in 5 years. Check. Yeah. No, but it's really, really cool. I love to hear that, because I think it's important that as dancers, especially we see this in the pandemic, that like when the dancing is taken away from us, that we can't do for our festivals or our classes and stuff, that a lot of dancers become stuck in an identity crisis. And
what can I do now?
And including myself, like just thinking, who am I now, and who am I if I can't dance, and if I don't have classes, and if I don't have a new project, and why am I doing these videos, where is it going to lead to? I don't know if I'm going to have a gig in 1 year, like all of these things. And I just think it's so important that we have several dreams, because otherwise at one point, if we don't get there, it's going to determine if we feel successful and accepted by ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever like come to a point, maybe this year or maybe another time, where you doubted yourself when it comes to like dancing, or your value?
It's more that I doubted myself in the beginning, like, okay, now I am teaching and I am a good follower, but being a good dancer, a good follower doesn't per se make you a good teacher. So in the beginning I was doubting myself, like, okay, now I am in front of those big groups, and I have someone next to me who's a good teacher, but am I? Or can I learn? Or so in the beginning I was doubting myself if I was ready in a way to really do it. But it went away, I think, after a year of really teaching. And I think that's also when it was funny, because we had a festival in Warsaw. I think it was it was the second booking that we had, the first official, but the second booking we did together. And we were booked there every year. So the year after that, when I came back, there was even a lady coming to me like, you changed, last year you were this little small girl being ashamed, and now you were really there. And after her telling me that, I was way more convinced, like, okay, I am a good teacher and I am going in the right direction of growing into this. And after Corona happened, it was not that I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because Kizomba, for me, teaching was always something to do besides what I would normally do. It was not, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life and the only main thing. But yeah, it was my income. So it was like, we need to do something else now. So in the beginning, I started working at DHL as a driver, delivering the packages. So I love driving. So for me, it was an obvious choice. Some people are like, but you are like a pretty lady, you know, why are you doing this? I'm like, no, it's nice, it's really nice. So actually I was enjoying this. I just started when Corona happened, like a bakery with my brother, selling cakes, baking cakes. And together with the DHL, I was okay. Now there's a lot of going on the online world, like e-commerce, you know, selling stuff yourself, having your own business. And from that, some people were talking about this. It triggered me, and I'm selling stuff on bol.com right now.
Oh,
so actually,
what are you selling?
It's really right. So in the summer, when the summer came, I was doing the water pistols for the little children, because a lot of people like those.
Yeah.
I have like a sort of a gun that gives like bubbles
Oh,
for the children.
oh
I
my
have a
God.
lot of like those weird little stuff that people are buying. I'm selling those on bol.com right now. So actually,
really, how is it going?
It's going fine. It's sometimes it's like scary because I'm buying everything from China. So when I'm buying some stuff, you need to have at least 60, you know, you have a certain quantity that you need to buy. So it's an investment. And then you need to be smart on this. Like, okay, I'm buying a product, but are people going to buy this product? You know, is it going to be in? So in the beginning, it was sometimes like, oh, I don't know, afraid, you know, to buy a certain thing. And now I'm more comfortable in this. Like, okay, searching the right product, being okay, this is a safe product, it will sell, even though it maybe will take a little bit longer, some go a little bit faster, but yeah, actually it's going in a nice way. It's a nice side hustle, to say like that.
Let me just say that you and I have to have like a side meeting about this.
You're gonna do the same.
I love that idea to just like try something new as well, and like just see where it gets you, you know. I've also thought about a lot about like the dancing, you know, how many times have not girls come up to us on festivals saying, I love your shoes, where did you get them? And I'm like, so much money I could have earned
by selling shoes
or referring them to a shoe store, you know, like I would always, now we're just giving away these websites for free, and like there you go,
they're here,
you know. But also sometimes when I see, I mean, it could be a coincidence, but sometimes I see like I will come with a certain outfit, and then like a couple weeks, months later, I start seeing this type of outfit showing up, and I'm like, you know what, I should have just have profited on that, you know, like I've done my own collection or just something. Maybe this is something we should talk about in our own collection about things, you know, because it's, as you say, is out there, it exists. So why should they just buy it from China when they can buy it straight from the people wearing it?
It's also faster. Exactly. It's already there.
Exactly. And also, like, you know, we cannot wait for an eternity to be contacted by these brands and sponsorships and you know,
sometimes it's good to take the initiative.
We gotta talk about this. I love that. All right. Well, you know, this has been a great time and we could talk for hours. But I just kind of want to finish off with something called fill in the gaps, where I start a sentence and you end with a word or an end of a sentence, whatever you feel. Okay?
Let's go.
Let's try it. All right. So if I could go tomorrow anywhere in the world, it would be...
Anywhere in the world. I would say Maldives. I don't know the word in English. Maldives, yes. Oh, this is so beautiful. I want to see this one time in my life. They don't dance Kizomba there, so we cannot be booked, but I want to go there.
But also before it, like, drowns, right? Because Maldives are about to get off this planet. So... And it's not going to help that we go there with flights.
No.
But
I still want to see
it. Okay, next one. So when I'm teaching, I always try to give my students
a deeper technique behind stuff. Can I elaborate?
Yes, sure.
Because a lot of people are telling, you need to do this and you need to do this like this or like this, but they are not explaining how or why is your body reacting in a way. So for me, it's really important that people understand the why behind the stuff of teaching. That's important.
When I see a dancer I really like, it's usually because...
Vibes.
Vibe.
The vibe that they give off.
Nice. If you could describe your partner in one word, what would it be?
One word. like a father.
Father.
figure, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so funny. We haven't mentioned this yet, but Chamalo means marshmallows.
Yeah.
And Myrty actually in France means
Blueberry,
blueberries.
yeah.
So you are team bonbon, like the
Fruité, yeah.
fruits, the fruits, the
Bonbon fruité,
the
candy
candy.
fruit.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, next one. If I can make everyone in the world try this at least once, it would be.
Oh,
It's a hard one.
everyone in the world. This is a difficult one.
Yeah, I know. It's my job. It's my job. I mean, it's very hard to make the world a better place, but if you could force everyone to try something at least once to make it better.
This is really difficult. I'm sorry, I'm taking my time. Ooh.
It's okay. We can edit this part away.
Yeah, do it. Give me a second. I would say, and maybe it's gonna be a little bit cheesy, but to be nice to people around you, because you never know what's happening behind the scenes, you know? Even if somebody's walking around with a big smile and a happy face, it doesn't mean that that person is happy and has the feeling of the smile, you know? So I think I would say this.
Yeah, that's so true. You never know what someone is
No.
going through.
No.
Even when you think you can judge someone,
Never
Never.
100%.
never, never. Yeah, I actually had that the other day when we were at that social Sunday by
With this
Castle.
guy, yeah.
I had actually a woman coming up to me and she was like, you know, I saw you a couple years ago, and I was like, yeah, actually, funny enough, I was going through a kind of a rough time. And she's like, I could never have told.
No.
And I'm like, didn't mean I didn't go through it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm happy you didn't see it, and
Yeah.
at the same time, you know, that's life, and
Yeah.
we just never know.
No.
Never know.
No.
Okay, last one. One thing that I would like to do within a year.
One thing that I would like to do within a year. I would say grow the business that I have of my bakery, like really growing this, because we started this just before Corona happened, and when Corona happened, all the stores that we were selling to closed. So right now we kind of wanted to start up again, and we're like hesitant, like yeah, it's a difficult time, and I think we need to make this happen and grow it bigger, because it can be a really good thing. So I think within next year I really want to grow this to a next level.
Taking notes, always in need of a bakery.
Call me.
Call you. Well, this has been lovely, my dear. In the end of my interviews, I always say, where can we find you? Where can the people out there, if they want to see videos or pictures or just follow your journey, whatever you want to say, the mic is yours.
So you can follow me on Instagram, because that's the place where I post my life. You know, Facebook is only promotion for Kizomba. So Instagram is MIRTYXX, and that's it. You have my store shoe that we didn't talk about this, but during the Kizomba festival craziness before my concussion, I started stoning shoes, you know, with the diamonds. So doing a personal request and stuff. I did this. It's Piedras Designs. You can also find this on Instagram, Facebook. I even have a website. The bakery, it's Bada Bakery. And yeah, that's it. That's my life. And bol.com, you just go. You don't know if you're buying from me.
Oh, that's a secret one.
You don't know.
So we always have to look for water guns. That's what we're looking for. No, but thank you so much for coming on. And I will link everything in the description below. Yes. So go and check her out. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.